Okay, hello everyone. So this is now the last or final session of CDC Wonder Analysis. And it would be about the last thing that we left behind. That was the introduction and the discussion, the main part. And also we will be going through the whole article, the abstract, intro, methodology, result, discussion, limitation, conclusion, just like a quick summary. Okay. So let's just start. For the first thing, a little bit of theoretical stuff. That is the introduction. What is how you write the introduction of CDC wonder analysis and how it is different from the discussion of any other cross-sectional or clinical audit that you are doing. Okay. In the introduction of CDC wonder analysis, you just don't start talking randomly about different countries. Okay. You have to either focus on the global trends or you have to focus on the US. Okay. Because it's the database that's related to the US. So you will try to limit yourself to the US. And if you are doing either if you're doing CDC wonder analysis on just one topic, like you can say trends in heart failure, trends in diabetes, trends in hypertension that have been shown across the regions and stuff like that, you will just need to define the trends and the global burden of the disease under study. Okay. First the systematic disease, and then you will go for the specific diseases. For example, I'm doing on heart failure. What I would do, I would first explain the cardiovascular diseases in whole as a journal, that they are this and this, and then I will specifically discuss about the global burden of heart failure. Okay. And in the second one, I would have to tell if I am linking some two diseases together, like for example, I am relating sudden cardiac arrest and atrial fibrillation. I will need to report that data also, that how come I am linking these two types. I will either have to go into the pathophysiology. I will have to explain how these two diseases are related and why did I think of this topic. Okay. And that's again one reason that for the topic selection, you have to be a little bit more clear. You cannot just pick any disease out of nowhere and then link it with any other disease. Okay, it should have some, there should be some linkage between them, at least some linkage. Okay. Firstly, you will explain the system and then the specific disease. Then, when you will link, you will explain first the system and then the disease and show some data supporting it that they both are related to each other. Okay. And the next thing would be if you have chosen a specific place or any specific age group or any specific region of US or any specific race of US, you will have to explain why have you gone for this specific age group. Okay. And just like in a way, like you are discussing that firstly, you will talk about the cardiovascular diseases are the most frequent global burden on the health system of the US, and there has been these many deaths. And then you will talk about the heart failure and the sudden cardiac arrest. And then if you're talking about atrial fibrillation, you will explain about that it can lead to that disease. And as it is more common in people above 40, we have seen a rising trend and stuff like that. Okay. And then the last thing that's almost always there, that's why is it's important to investigate. In cross-sectional studies, for the introduction writing, we divided into four paragraphs. Okay, the first paragraph is introduction, describing the disease. The second paragraph is about the trends. Okay, here we have done the same thing. The third paragraph is about research at a national and international level, but here we are not doing that. We are just focused on the global and the US. And the last paragraph is always a rationale, and here we are also going to discuss the rationale that how you think that this research will benefit the research world. Okay. In the discussion part, what we'll be doing, we will explain the results without any numbers. For example, it was shown that your overall trends in mortality increased from 1999 to 2001, and then there was a plateau, and then there was a plateau and then there was a decline. You have to explain without telling this thing that these were the numbers. You just have to say that as there was an increase in 1999 to 2020, this was the reason for that increase because COVID came and stuff like that, or any other thing like there was a new investigation that lead to this. Okay, I will be showing you guys examples from one of the article also. Then you have to support your findings with previous studies, emphasize the importance of change, and explain the weak points of your study. That's the limitation. Importance of change, that means that you will have to explain that these trends, they are devastating, or they are improving, or this is a good thing, this is helping, why there was there a decline, did it help in some policy change and stuff like that. You have to think like a person who is in public health policy. Okay. So discussion is really, really important. In the CDC wonder analysis, every single thing is very important. Why? Because you are not going out there and collecting data. You are just analyzing the data. So you have to bring your wits and everything, your graphical powers and content designing and all that stuff, and make your article a very beautiful and a very comprehensive article. So as the more detailed and the more you can say more comprehensive discussion would be, the more chances of it getting published in a very high impact factor journal. If your discussion is weak, the chances are very less. Okay, so let's just go towards the discussion and the intro part. Let me open up the article. So this was the article that we keep as our parent article from the start. The trends in heart failure related mortality among older adults in the United States from 1999 to 2020. Okay. So this is a journal, that is the JAG, and it's a very high impact factor journal, and it's published in a very good journal of cardiology, and I guess something like that stuff. So I will show you guys later on how to choose a journal also. We discussed this before about the central illustration, the importance of central illustration. Okay, let me continue this whole thing in the next session.